Are calling for an investigation after the discovery of hundreds of graves near the former site of a segregated reform school. Mikayla Newton has the story.
An unkept burial site of at least 230 black boys remains in Cheltenham, Maryland. I spoke with Delegate Jeffrey Long, who sponsors the legislation, and tells me he hopes to uncover what's there.
We don't know what else could be there. We know that by now, because of records and just surface level view, that there are about 230 young black men who are buried there, but there could be so much more.
House Bill 552 aims to launch an investigation into the House of Reformation and Instruction for Colored Children, a facility where black boys were sent in the early 1900s, serving as a segregated alternative to adult prisons. Investigators will focus on the children who lived there, those who died, and the many who were buried in unmarked graves on the property.
There were 230 young black men that were literally buried there with no grave markers, died because of horrid conditions, and they were forgotten about, and this went unchecked under Maryland's watch for several years.
Senator Will Smith sponsors the Senate version of the bill.
My hope is that the committee and the rest of the General Assembly will learn some of this rich and tragic history, and that they'll understand that we need this commission headed up by the Attorney General and experts from across the field, from genealogical research, records research, law, and history, produce a report that tells us what happened and provides us a pathway to understand how we can rectify some of this history.
During a hearing in the Judicial Proceedings Committee, senators raised concerns about the role the Attorney General would play in the investigation.
My only concern about the bill is requiring the Attorney General to do the work. Is there any, in your opinion, is there any chance that this bill might lead to either criminal charges or civil litigation?
But supporters clarified the Attorney General's limited role.
We would not be the office itself conducting the investigation. We would hire independent investigators with the approval of the commissioners.
The Maryland Historical Trust announced a joint initiative with the Maryland Commission on African American History and Culture to provide significant financial support for local preservation. Funding was designated to the Boys Village of Maryland Cemetery organization to help protect and maintain their historical grounds. Additionally, the Maryland Department of Juvenile Services will receive a $200,000 grant to assist in these conservation efforts. If passed, the investigation would be required to identify the victims, refer criminals and report it to the Attorney General, create a memorial to honor their children buried there, and teach the history by creating educational initiatives in Maryland schools.
The Attorney General will gather together all the stakeholders, assemble this commission, and then they will start hiring out experts that can do the genealogical research, the DNA research, the historical research, and then they'll start the process, a 2-year process of producing a report.